Hi, it's Dennis Daly. When I was studying broadcast journalism at Indiana University in the mid-1960s, one of my first assignments was to go out and get an interview with somebody about money. Boy, that seemed like a horrible assignment, but I had an ace in the hole. I went home every weekend to work in local radio and spent a lot of time with a gentleman named William Brooks Allen, spokesman for the local home building savings and loan. I would interview him, and here I am sounding much younger with Brooks Allen. I asked him about savings and whether or not putting something away was becoming more popular.
Yeah. Now, I don't speak for anybody. There's a great association of we people throughout the country, but I can only speak for ourselves. But I think it's universal, nationwide. The inability now to get earnings. That's the main thing. We all pushed our rates up. A lot of people went from 4 to 4.5, as we did here. Some went as high as 5. Out California, they went a little higher than that, and now are regretting it. The thing is, it attracts too much money. That seems a rather a funny statement, but it's the truth. The minute we went
attracts, now this is interest that you have to pay.
Yeah.
If you're borrowing.
No, the interest we pay on you as a saver.
I see.
You see, we were paying 4, and then around us they started to go to 4.5 and 5 and 5.5, and we had a little run of withdrawals. And the minute we went to 4.5, back comes the money. Now, our problem is to get the earnings to pay that money. There the little guy gets squeezed. Because that's an old slogan, the little guy pays.
Right.
But the little guy, let's just call him the little guy, the fellow that's going to build a new house or buy existing property. Now, he comes to us to borrow your money that you put in there as a saver.
No. Let's say I am going to buy a house and I come in.
Yeah.
What is the minimum amount of interest then I now have to pay?
This will scare you, but 7.2. And in cases it runs as high as 8, depending on the risk we run, the location of the property and the age of the property, and you as a wage earner, depending maybe who you work for and the size of your family. Oh, there's a lot of things go in on that. But if it's safe, why 7.2 would probably be your rate. There's exceptions to all rules.
Now this has gone up from what?
From 6.
From 6.
Yeah. When we had it at 6, we were only paying 4%. Now, you might think, well, here you only raised your rate of dividend 0.5%, and then you raised your earning rate 0.2. All right, it's not all in the dividend. You have to pay more now to hold good help. Everybody's looking for the top man or the top woman anymore, and your supplies cost, your taxes have gone up, and all those things. So in the aggregate, we find it necessary to hold a minimum of 7.2.
Now, is there a federal restriction over the margin you have to keep, or
No.
is this something that you set up for yourself?
No, not well, you got me a little there in that word margin, Mr. Daly.
Well, I know that you have to, for your own safety, maintain a certain difference there. It seems you would run out of money after a while.
Well, yes.
On your dividends, which keep piling up.
Yeah, you would. And then being licensed by state and federal banking departments, we're audited once a year by that. And then they, of course, are they're detectives. We call them other things, not too complimentary, but they are detectives. And if they see a danger here, of course, we're required to keep so much in reserve. If we get a run, why then the Home Loan Bank in Indianapolis, there's a bunch of those, I think 12 in all, throughout the United States that take care of emergencies like that of savings and loan institutions.
But you can't fall back on them.
They'll help us anytime, and in other words, then when we build up a surplus, we let them have some of our money to help somebody else.
Okay, one final question.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, what do you foresee in the next several months? Are interest rates going to keep going up, or will there have to be a limit someplace?
I think it all depends on this thing now that's boiling, and that is the income tax increase that the gentleman down in Washington wants. We don't know what effect that's going to have. It's going to scare a lot of people from making an obligation for the next 20 years. Most of our loans are over a 20-year period. And
So we'll have to see what the president
we'll
does
just have to
then
wait and see.
before
Yeah.
we can see.
Uh-huh.
Well, Mr. Allen, thank you very much for talking with us today.
Thank you, sir.
A great deal of nostalgia for me, even though I sound like a little boy. Well, I kind of was at the time. William Brooks Allen of Home Building Savings and Loan. I'm Dennis Daly.